crafty friends, this is Diana. Thanks for joining me today. This is my January setup for my reading journal. So I initially had picked out these papers because the stickers that I have for the month, I wanted kind of like a winter theme. I thought it went well because it's like a winter forest like, and I thought these tree barks would be perfect. And so I'm attempting a different style of, I just wanted something to divide the months, so maybe like a divider or like a header kind of a thing. So I'm experimenting this whole embellishing, I guess, of my pages. Like I said, I'm like not a professional at any of this by all means, but it's just me having fun just decorating my journal. So I did have a video of my journal setup. I'll go ahead and link that in the eye here on the top right hand corner if you'd like to check that out and see what my other pages look like in my journal. And so yeah, I'm just having fun with it. If you'd like, just grab your cup of coffee or your tea or snack or whatever, and just yeah, just watch me put this together. I'll join in here in a little bit and tell you a little bit more about how I decide to set up my month. So now that my divider or my heading page, whatever you want to call it, is done, I decided that I would go ahead and carry that same look for my stats page. So I just continued to use the same tearing of the paper kind of a look, and I just trimmed the corners there. I used this We Are Memory Keepers corner rounder, and it works out great. I love the look of it, and it's really easy. And so yeah, I'm ready to go ahead and start my page. So initially what I was going to do was I was going to use my stamp set. I have this really cute LE Studio stamp set. I believe it's called the Jenny Alphabet stamp set. And then I quickly changed my mind. I felt like I wasn't going to have enough space to stamp everything out and then add all my books to the right. And then I thought it'd be easier if I just printed out kind of like a monthly wrap up, I use Storygraph. I'll go ahead and leave that in the description. It is a free app. That's how I keep track of all my reads. And so I decided that I would use these Everyday Explorers. These are old alpha stickers. I figured I'd go ahead and use what I have on, in my stash. And so I do end up spending in January. These are black and white alphas. And I felt like it went well with the theme, the black and white, and then the kind of like the gray undertones of the paper. And then I end up pulling out more of these little, this one had like a little townscape. It had like little like barns and houses, and it just looks like winter snowy. And then, so yeah, I went ahead and printed this monthly wrap up, and I like it because it tells you like how many books you read, how many pages you read, what were your top 3 reads. Then it gives you like pie graphs. Initially last year in my journal, I did pie graphs, and it was so exhausting trying to get everything to be perfect and straight and stuff. And I figured, well, why not? I'm just going to cheat a little and just have it already done for me, and then just print it on my printer, my selfie printer. And it worked out great, and tells you the genres, how long it takes you to finish a book, what's your average. It's perfect. So I figured that I would adhere that on the left side, and then I use the same stickers to spell out stats. And then for this month, I believe I read 8 books in January, and I initially were going to do the book covers bigger, but I didn't think it was going to fit, so I made them small. I ended up reprinting these because I needed to put it in that one page where I put all the covers of my books on the page, so I had to reprint it again. But it's okay, I had it still, and so it was no biggie just to reprint. And then I ended up arranging them 4 on the top and 4 on the bottoms, perfect, to have the 8 on the same page. And then I stuck one of these stickers here, and I really like this little scenery here with the trees, and decided that I would cut that in half and adhere it there underneath the paper and in the seam, the book seam kind of, and just tucked it in there. I felt like it looked great. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just arranged them. For this month, I would say what says there that my top 3 books were The Only One Left by Riley Sager, The Boyfriend from Freedom McFadden, and Life's Too Short from Abby Jimenez. Those are my top 3. I believe also The Christmas Pig was a 5-star read for me. It was a book that I read with my son over during the Christmas break or winter vacation. And I had it initially, we were reading it on my phone because we have the Libby app. And it got sent back, and so we didn't get to finish it. So I went ahead and checked it out from my library, and we got the actual book, and we had it for, we had it longer. And so we were able to read the whole book, and we finally finished it in January. But it was such a great book. My son and I truly enjoyed it. And I think that was the only library actual book that I read for the month, because usually audiobooks are my best friends. So that's usually my go-to. But I do end up bringing out this stamp set from Syncopation Design. It is Bookish Vibes, and it has this stamp set where the little stamp where it has the stars for your ratings, and it works perfect. So I stamped that out. Luckily, I had enough space to put them all on the same page, and I ended up using my Crayola Super Tips because these markers don't bleed through. Unfortunately, my alcohol markers do bleed through. So these are going to be my go-tos unless I do it on additional cardstock paper and then glue them on my journal. So this is it, guys. I finished it up. So now I'm going to go ahead and start filling in my journal. So since I read 8 books, I'm going to fill in 8 books, and according to my key, color them in the colors that go with what they are. So I have hardback, paperback, ebook, I believe one's audio, and then I have a C for combo read or tandem read or immersive read, whatever you want to call it, where you read both. You have the actual audio and the book together. So I had 2 different colors and the rest were all audio. And then here's my book log. In here, I'm just filling in the books in order, the way that I read them. And then I have the month, and then the title of the book, and then the author, and then the rating. So a lot of information on this book log here. And I just simply just copy them down. All of this stuff is all on that one app that I shared with you guys, which is called the Storygraph. But since I'm recording on my phone, I wasn't able to have my phone on me, so I am using this as a guide to show me the names of the books and the authors, because I don't memorize all the authors. Although I do remember the authors that I do love. Not everyone. I won't remember everyone. So yeah, so you see me flipping back and forth. So once I do finish up my log, I'm moving over to my alphabet challenge, and I believe in my alphabet challenge, I think I filled in seven letters. And usually in the first couple months you get a lot of them, because you're just starting, so you fill in a lot of the alphabets, and then as you get further along through the year, you start to get repeats of the same letter. So I don't initially just pick out like, okay, this book I'm going to read because it's going to fill in this letter. I just read the books, and then if they fall in place, they fall in place. I do know that I'm going to have trouble with the X, because I hardly ever find books with X's. And then Q's, but for this month I did read The Quiet Tenant, and that one was a really good book, so I filled in my Q already. So I'm already ahead of the game. And then I'm moving over to my 25 books in 2025. I believe I read one book from this list. I believe it's The Boyfriend from Frida McFadden, and then I color that in purple, the darkest purple, because it was a 5-star read for me. I believe I do write in the rating, and then I color in the book. I just pick any random book that I want to color in. I've already made a key for myself, because I noticed that I didn't make them stand out when they're in the package, but now that I know the order that they go in, I've already put them in that order, so I know exactly what my ratings are and the colors that I want them in. And then I skipped over to my favorite authors and checked off the books that I've already read for these. I think I was able to check off 3 books from that list, and then I'm moving over to my book bingo, and I believe, I can't really see, but I know that one of them, one was a 5-star read, another one was a library book, and then one that made me laugh out loud. Those were The Life's Too Short was the one that made me laugh out loud. 5-star read was the Riley Sager, and then the public library book was The Christmas Pig. So I was able to fill out 3 in my book bingo. Not bad. And then I do end up filling out my monthly fave and my Amy Buddy reading list off camera, because they weren't the right size that I needed them in. So I had to reprint them and adjust them the size that I needed them in. But I do end up working on my book bracket, and I already know that my favorite book for January was Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. If you haven't read that book, you definitely have to read it. It was such a good book. It made me laugh, and it just gave me all the feels. I laughed, and then it was like sad, and then it was like happy, and then it was all the emotions. She's really good at writing romance books. I really do recommend it. So here I'm skipping over. I went ahead and reprinted the covers that I need, the sizes that I needed for my rainbow reads. And I do end up having 3 for this month. I had a red book, which is Yours Truly, and then a yellow, which is Life's Too Short, and then the white, which is The Boyfriend from Frida McFadden. And I believe that I do end up, I think I ended up, I think I ended up putting this one down, but it was a little too big, and after I realized that, once I put it down, it just looked wonky to me, and I ended up just taking it off. And you know what? And now that I'm looking at this, the Yours Truly was actually a February book, so I got I got ahead of myself and printed out an extra book cover. Maybe because I was just going with the colors, and I just figured I just picked the books that I've already finished. But anyway, this is my final flip through. I'm showing you what I filled out so far. Here's my bookshelfie, all my books that are colored in, all my 8 books that are filled in my book log. You'll see the finished look. All the 7 entries in my alphabet challenge. And then I have my rainbow reads. The Yours Truly was from February, not for January. So I actually had 2 for January. My 1 from my 25 books in 2025. And then my Buddy Reads with Amy, which we read The Only One Left. That was a good one. That was a 5-star for me. And then for my book bracket, my favorite book in January was Life's Too Short. And then for my favorite authors, I was able to pick 1 from Frida McFadden, 1 from Abby Jimenez, and 1 from Riley Sager. Those are 3 that I was able to check off from my favorite authors list. Oh, and then Ruth Ware. I did read 1 Ruth Ware. And then here's my favorite for the month of January. And then here are my 3 that I got from my book bingo. And that completes my flip through, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, give me a thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Can't wait to show you guys for next month. And now all I have to do is do my book entries for the month. So I can't wait to show you guys, and I hope you guys will join me in my next video. Okay, hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.